Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today I grabbed the Wilderness palette to do a blue and red eyeshadow look. I wanted to match the flowers in my shirt, and I was really nervous because I wasn't sure how that was going to go. Blue and red are not the sort of colors that blend together nicely, particularly if you don't want to create purple, but I think it turned out pretty nice, and if you're interested in seeing it, then don't go anywhere. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Rachel, and I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom who loves to play with colorful eyeshadow. So if you would like to see lots of colorful content in your timeline, currently I'm uploading about 3 videos a week, so you might want to consider liking and subscribing. Okay, so to start this look, I've already primed my eyes using the Glamlight Icing Primer in the shade White Frosting. And let me talk about what I'm wanting to do today. I've got the Wilderness palette, and I want to do something in blue and red which matches my shirt. Now, that's pretty intimidating for me because they're both really different colors, and it's going to be super easy to make them look very messy and smudgy and muddy on my eyes, and I would not like that. I would like it to be a nice blue and red, like clearly defined, not turning into purple or a version of brown. So here's my plan. I'm going to take one of these 2 matte reds. I think I'm going to take this one because even though it's darker, it's a cool toned red, whereas this one is more warm toned. So I think I'm going to take Raw and put that in my crease. And on like the outer lid. And then I think if I want to blend it out, I might use Poppy or I might use Marigold. I'm not sure about that. And then on my lid, I want to use the shade Ocean. It's a blue shimmer. And then on my lower lash line, I want to use this blue right here. So it's kind of a loose plan, and I think I'm just going to have to do it and see how it's going to determine anything else from there. So let me get started. I'm going to start by taking a detail crease brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to dip into the shade Raw, and I'm going in lightly because I can always build more, but I can't take away if I go too heavy. So I'm going to take Raw, and this brush is pinched only on one side, so it's got a little bit of a crescent shape. So I'm molding that into the shape of my crease, starting in the outer corner, and then I'm just going to very gently blend it towards the bridge of my nose. Now, I've used this shade before as a transition tone, and if you go in very lightly, you can get more of a pink sort of end result, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm wanting it to be a little bit more pink in here towards the bridge of my nose, and then again, I can deepen the outer area if I want to. But I don't want pink and blue, I want red and blue, so I have to find that balance. I'm also making sure that I carry this red onto the outer corner of my lid. All right, I'm going to take a blending brush, and I just want to soften these red edges a little bit. I'm not going to take any product yet, and I want to see how they soften. So I'm just going to use this brush right around the edges and see if I can soften and help transition into my skin tone without adding in another color. Because if I add either the yellow matte or the orange matte, it's going to make this look much more warm than I want it to be, and I want it to stay cool toned because of the flowers in my shirt. All right, I think that blended out quite nicely. I am probably not going to do anything else with that red. I think I'm going to try for the blue now. This is actually a pretty simple look if you think about it. It's like probably 3 shadows. Again, playing it by ear as I go, but I think I'm planning on using 3 shadows. I'm going to, what am I going to do? What should I do? So I'm going to take my finger and dip into the shade Ocean, which is the blue shimmer. That's right here. It's very pretty. And I'm going to put that on the center of my lid towards the bridge of the nose. I don't know that I want it all the way in at the bridge of my nose because it's a little bit of a darker mid-tone shimmer, and I prefer lighter colors on the like on the inner corner. So I'm going to put this on the center of the lid and work it a little bit towards the bridge and then also out towards the outer corner, and let's see how it goes. The reason I'm using my finger instead of a brush is because yesterday I used my finger for the shade Fossil, and it actually turned out really beautifully. And it's been a while since I used a finger on anything other than ColourPop shimmers, so I was actually pretty pleased to see how well it worked on the Beauty Bay. Alright, so that's a start. Now, because I blended out the red with just a blending brush, it definitely made it more pink. It lightened it up, obviously. And I would like a little bit more of a defined red, so I'm going to take a smaller, more pinched and blending brush so it has a bit of an edge to it. I'm going to dip back into Raw and just place that in the crease above this blue to create a bit more of a line of definition. Now, obviously I could have done my crease very dark and just cut it with some concealer. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want a really, really stark line. but I do want a little bit more red up here. And once I've used the edge of that brush to create the line, I'll turn it a little bit sideways and just super gently blend it out a little. And then taking that same brush, still in the shade Raw, I'm going to go over this edge here where the blue meets the red and add in some red to help transition into the blue. Just kind of work in that area a little bit. Now remember that red and blue are going to make purple, but because I'm not using a blue matte, it's going to be not as distinct as a blue matte and a blue red merging to make purple. It's two different formulas between the matte and the shimmer. So it'll make a purple hue, but it won't be nearly as intense of a purple as if I had topped it with a blue matte. And using the same brush, I'm going to carry into Raw as well and bring that down onto the lower lash line, but only in the outer corner. I think that's looking pretty. I'm going to take a flat brush now and go back into the shade Ocean. When I first applied it with my finger, it obviously was over a bigger area, but now I want the precision of that color being applied in the inner corner without spraying it all over the bridge of my nose, the way that my finger would. So I'm dipping into the shade, and now I'm going to spray it with setting spray. And I'm going to use it in the inner corner and then just kind of go over where I've placed down before. Just like that. And using it, you can see, I don't know if you can see, I saw as soon as I applied it on the lid that it brightened up a bit because I had sprayed it. So, I mean, I'm glad that I laid it down with my finger first because it made a nice base and kind of covered a large area all at once, but I'm also glad that I went back in with a sprayed brush because that gives me the metallic shine that I want. And it also gives me precision in this smaller area. I'm just going to take a concealer and quickly clean up under my eyes a little bit. There's not very much fallout, but particularly when I use blues, I want to make sure that my under eye is nicely tidied because blue can make you look really tired. So I just take a bit of concealer and I really just blend it in with a flat brush here. And I then carry it into my T-zone because I have like combination oily skin, particularly in the T-zone I get oily. So I want to try to control that a bit. Having done the blue on this side, I'm already cleaning up after it. Whoops. And then if I want to take the next step, I'll usually take a powder and just tap the powder in, but I think I'll skip that for now. Maybe go back later. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to take a small pencil brush and I want to dip into the shade Sky, which is the beautiful medium toned blue matte. And I want Sky on the entire lower lash line, starting at the inner corner here and working out to meet the reds. And then again, where the red and blue meet, I'm going to get like a purple blend. So I just be careful that I don't drag them back and forth over each other too much, like in too large of an area, because it'll be spreading purple everywhere. So when I get to the red, I just go back and forth very lightly in that one area until they blend to my satisfaction. Now there's really not a great highlight shade in this palette for this color scheme. I'm looking at the shade Ray, which is a lovely whitish highlight, but it's definitely got more green in it. And so I'm debating whether or not I want to put Ray as like an inner corner highlight, or if I want to grab a different, like a white shimmer from a different palette. Because I have Passion in Paris palette and the Blueberry Muffin palettes both have some really great white shimmers. And the Garnet palette from BH Cosmetics, all three from BH actually, also has a really nice white shimmer. So we'll see. I'm not sure about that yet, but I'm going to grab, that's not right. It was white, but it was not the right thing. I'm going to grab just a white eyeliner and use this on my lower waterline. I really like a white liner because it matches everything and it really does a great job of brightening up a look. I mean, if you want smoky, you can go for black and make it really dramatic, but if you want to brighten up a look, white is a great option. Okay, that is the eye look. I'm still undecided about the inner corner, so I'm gonna go off camera, finish up the other eye, make my decision about the inner corner, add some liner and mascara, and then I'll be back to show you the end result. All right, and that's the finished look. I think it turned out really pretty considering I didn't have a solid plan. It does remind me of something that I think I did with the Passion in Paris palette. I'll have to go back in my log and see because I don't really remember, but I really wasn't sure how the blue and red would look together, and I think it turned out nice. In case you can't tell, I did decide to do a brighter inner corner highlight, so I grabbed the Garnet palette from BH Cosmetics, and I took this shade right here, Productive AF. It's a really beautiful white shimmer, and I used that on my inner corner. I sprayed a little bit to add a bit more pizzazz, and there you go. And then to line my eyes, I always use black, but today I actually found that I had this in my collection. This is the ColourPop liquid liner in the shade Wine Not from their Wine and Only collection. It's a beautiful burgundy color, and it actually performed better than I remembered. It's a little bit of a thinner formula, so I did build it up a little bit, but it added a slightly less stark color to the eyeliner, and I think it's really pretty. And then randomly in my collection I found this actual lipstick. I just recently did a whole video where I'm swatching all of my lip shimmers and tints and oils and stuff, and I was like, I don't own any lipstick. I do. I own a lipstick. It is from Lancome, and it is the shade Rouge Marron. So there you go. I have a lipstick on, and it's kind of matte, so that's rather unusual for me. And that is the look. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the look. Thank you for bearing with me through my technical finagling to get better quality for you while I wait to upgrade my phone. I can't wait to get the iPhone 13 because I expect that it's going to give me much better video quality. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see lots more content, and until we do see each other again, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!